Everyone, children, good evening. Shall we start? You remember we started this lesson last week, business environment, last day, right? This is lesson number 3. So business environment, we divided into two parts, internal environment and external environment, right? So we learned some definitions for internal environment and external environment. And external environment also we divided into two, immediate environment and macro environment. Right? So here we want to learn factors of this business environment. Business environment factors. So here you can see what are the internal factors and what are the external factors. Under external factors, immediate environmental factors and macro environmental factors. Here you can see this is not just people, right? There are things, factors more than people, but owners, managers, customers, suppliers, right? People like this also we can include in this business environment. business environment කෙනෙක්ගේ ඉන්නවා ඊට අමතරව තවත් හුඟක් දේවල් තියෙනවා මේ business environment එකක් කියනකොට that condition right ඒ conditions ඒ වෙලාවට එන conditions තමයි අපි කියන්නේ business environment කියන. The thing is this is business environment effect on the business operation activities, right? ඒක තමයි අපිට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න. And I told you we can express these environmental things in like this also, right? In this way also, right? Then we learn what are these internal environment factors, right? Owners, managers, employees, organization culture, organizational structure, resources. Right? Then mainly this is very important, right? We want to learn how these kind of factors affect to the environment, affect to the business operations, right? So when we take these factors, children, it can affect like as a strength and also it might be a weakness, right? Ek strength එකක් විදිහට effect වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, weakness එකක් විදිහට effect වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, right? So then next one, immediate environment. Right, this is immediate environmental environment is in external environment. ඒක තියෙන external environment එකේ. මේක තියෙන business එක ඇතුළේ නෙමෙයි business එකෙන් එළියේ. Customers, suppliers, competitors, potential businessmen, these all are out of the business, right? Business එකෙන් එළියේ තියෙන ඒවා. Right. So we discussed this one also. Okay. Then macro environment. This one also outside the business. Normally, children, this kind of factors, businesses cannot control, right? But when it's come to this internal environment, businesses can control. If someone in business sector own control කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? Using some strategies and all. But this kind of macro environmental factors, definitely business cannot control. For example, these days we are facing this pandemic situation. Then make me pandemic situation business world effect වෙලා තියෙනවා. Right? Can business control that? ඒක business වලට control කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඒක control කරන්න බෑ. Right? So economic environment, that I think we discussed that one, economic environment. So here I want to tell you these environmental factors effect on the business. Me හැමදේම business වලට බලපානවා. Business එකක් කරනකොට as an entrepreneur you have to think about this macro environment also. මෙහෙම වෙනස් වෙනවා කියලා දැනගෙන තමයි business එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ, right? So if you are facing some kind of threat, right, you have to get some kind of you have to use some kind of strategies to prevent from these threats, right? Then අපිට internal environment වලදී, in internal environment we are talking about strength and weakness. Do you remember soft analysis? Soft analysis අපි කතා කරන්නේ එකේදී strength and weaknesses inside the business. But outside of the business we have business එකෙන් එළිය අපිට තියෙන්නේ ළමයි opportunities and threats, right? Both are there. Opportunities it might be threat, right? You take this pandemic situation, right? In pandemic situation, most businesses, they have to close their business and all. But there are some businesses, they got a lot of advantages because of this pandemic situation, right? Me pandemic hinda making advantage the business tibuna, right? So some businesses see this one as a opportunity. Some businesses see this one as a threat. Pandemic situation එක සමහර business වලට threat එකක්. Few businesses, right? They can see this one as a opportunity for them, right? Can you tell me one example? මොන වගේ business ද මේක opportunity එකක් විදිහට දැක්කේ? Any answer? Mask businesses, definitely yes. Mask කියන්නෙත් එහෙම තමයි. Mask businesses ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඒක opportunity එකක් වුණා, right? First few months they couldn't supply the demand, but after that now everyone wearing mask. එතකොට ඒක තියෙනවා. Sanitizer businesses also same. And what about this Zoom, right? Zoom එකත් එහෙමනේ උනේ, right? Zoom එකත් they are earning profit because of this pandemic situation, right? Zooms and Google වල Microsoft Teams and all, right? ඒ වගේ කට්ටියත් මේකෙන් අරගත්තා. Right. Okay, let's go to the political environment. Now, children, when you are doing a business, right, you have to be concerned about these political changes and all. These things also affect to the business. ඒවත් වෙනස් ඒවත් බලපානවා business වලට. Right? Example, you can see government's political vision and policies following open economics. You know what is open economic policy? Open economic policy for Sri Lanka, it was introduced in 1977, right? 1977 වල තමයි මේ open economic policy කියන්නේ ව්‍යුහාර්ථකය කියලා අපි කියන්නේ, right? Economics policy being introduced. Then what is happening here? Anyone can export goods to other countries and anyone can import goods from other countries, right? Export import වලට no barriers there. ඕනම එකක් import කරන්න පුළුවන්, ඕනම එකක් export කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? That is the open economy. But before that, again, before 1977, we did not have open economic policy, right? We wanted to have self-sufficient policy. කියන්නේ අපිම බඩු හදාගෙන අපිම when we can consume then, right? We are manufacturing our goods, then we can consume. We are consuming our goods. Self-sufficient economic එකක් විදිහට තමයි අපිට ඕන උනේ. We didn't want to depend on other country, right? දැන් අපි දන්නවා when they put some barriers and all, right, we are facing very big problem because of this open economy. දැන් අනිත් අය මොනවා හරි barrier මොනවා හරි වෙන රටක් දැම්මොත්, right? We are facing a lot of problems. And these days for vehicles, we are not importing vehicles, right? So vehicles prices are very high these days, right? කරන්න දෙයක් නෑ අපි අපේ රටේ vehicles හදන්නේ නෑනේ, right? එතකොට then the businesses who are importing those vehicles, they are facing a lot of problems these days, right? එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ට ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙලා තියෙනවා because of this political environment. And I can remember one thing, children, when this government appointed, I think 2019 November in 2019, this government changed the tax policies, right? Tax policy change kara, right? That period there was no this corona, that was not a pandemic. Ekalika pandemic ekak නෙමෙයි. So this government gave a lot of reliefs for the taxes for the agricultural side. Right, agricultural අයගෙන් හුඟක් tax ගන්න එක අඩු කරා. And also income tax also they reduced them. Before that, anyone who earn more than 5 lakhs, they have to pay taxes, right? ඕනම කෙනෙක් ලක්ෂ 5කට වඩා per year උපයනවා නම්, right? If they are earning more than 5 lakhs, they had to pay tax. ඒ හැම කෙනාම income tax එකක් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ government එකට. But in 2019 November or December, right, they changed these policies. Now we don't have to pay income tax if we are earning less than 3 million per year. අවුරුද්දකට ලක්ෂ 30කට වඩා අඩුවෙන් නම් අපි earn කරන්නේ, we don't have to pay taxes. Those are government policies, right? So these policies are changing with the government, right? ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ political vision එකත් එක්ක ඒවා වෙනස් වෙනවා. This government wanted to develop the agricultural side. That is why they reduced the taxes for the agriculture, right? ඒ වගේ දේවල් වෙනවා. The 1977, that government wanted to start the open economy, right? Open economy policy එක ගෙනාවා. එතකොට ඒක business වලට බලපානවා. It might be opportunity, it might be threat. Some businesses එකෙන් opportunity ගන්නවා, සමහර අයට එක threat එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? The legal environment, right? Rules and regulations are there. Okay, there are a lot of organizations also, right? So these rules and regulations also impact on businesses in the country. Then labor rules and regulations, for example, the minimum, there is a rule for the minimum wage in Sri Lanka, right? Minimum wage rule එකක් තියෙනවා. I think that is 10,000. I think they have increased that one into 16,000, but I'm not exactly sure. It might be 10,000 or 16,000. කියන්නේ අඩුම අපි මාසෙකට දෙන්න ඕන කාට හරි වැඩ කරනවා නම් that is a labor rule, minimum salary rule. We take this 10,000, right? Again, if someone working, right, in your business, you cannot give less than 10,000 salary. ඊට වඩා අඩු salary එකක් දෙන්න බෑ. Those are the rules, right? And also for the advertisements also there are some rules and regulations. When you are registering business, you have rules and regulation. When you are converting your business into a public limited or private limited, you have rules and regulations, right? And also EPF, ETF, those also are labor rules, right? EPF, ETF කියන එක දන්නව නේද? Right? EPF, Employee Provident Fund and Employee Trust Fund. That means, for example, you think you are doing a business, right? So you have to register. You have 10 workers working under you, right? Then 10 දෙනෙක් විතර ආගාව වැඩ කරනවා. Then you have to pay salary for them. You're paying salary for them. Actually not 10, at least working one employee. කෙනෙක් හරි වැඩ කරනවා නම් you have to register under Employee Provident Fund and Employee Trust Fund. එක labor department කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා in Sri Lanka. So you have to register as an employer. ඔයා employer නේ ඔයාගේ business එක කරන්න. So you have to register. And you have to pay for them, right? For employees. You think, for example, their basic salary is 10,000, right? So you have to pay 12% from the 10,000, right? And you have to pay 10,000. 10,000 උත් දෙනවා salary එක විදිහට. Then 12% from the 10,000 also. That means 1,200, right? That one also you have to, that 1,200 you have to deposit in EPF department. EPF එකේ ගිහිල්ලා ඒ 1,200 උත් deposit කරන්න ඕනි, right? That is your contribution. ඒකේ තියෙනවා in EPF, there's an employee part also. ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩ කරන කෙනා employee දෙන්න ඕන 8%. 10,000 වලින් 8% means 800, right? එතකොට employer giving employees giving 1,200, employees giving 800, then 2,000 is there, right? එතකොට මේ 2,000 යනවා as a saving. ඒක saving එකක්. Employee, right? Those are EPF and ETF. ETF is just 3%, right? You can learn these things later. එතකොට මේ වගේ legal environment is there, right? Legal environment තියෙනවා. So when you're doing your business, you need to know these rules and regulations, especially when you're going to locate your business in another country. When රටකට යනවා නම් definitely you should know the rules and regulations in that country. රටේ වෙන්නේ මොනවද කියලා දැනගන්න ඕනේ, right? And you know, in our country there are some products, businesses cannot sell some products without SLS certificate. Salmon dannone, salmon tin, right? That is one. I think sugar, I'm not sugar, right? There are some products you cannot sell without SLS certificate. එහෙම නැතුව විකුණන්න බෑ. හරි. Those are the legal environment. Technological environment. Changes in this technology also affect for the businesses, children. right? New technical inventions, rapid changes in technology, changes in communication technology, right? These kind of things affect the effect to the business. Can you tell me one example? Technology changes in the velati. Because when one business start to use this technology, right? If your competitors start to use this technology, you also have to do that. The bank also doing these things, right? The self-banking facility we didn't have previously, right? Self-banking facility. But now the technology is changing. Then banks also, they have now self-banking facility. Now every banks have this self-banking facility. Technological prashnayak. Otherwise, customer will switch the bank. When a bank right? Right. So these technological things also, and these days, then online working from home, right? You have to use internet, online, and everything, right? So previously we didn't teach through online. Online it is not that much popular, but now everyone using that one, right? Then right? So those are technological environment. Change when it affect to the businesses also, right? Next one, demographic environment. What is the demographic means? Can the main factors connect with the population, right? Size of the population, growth rate of the population, gender wise, age structure, level of education, right? May okkomat balapana business walata. How come? How these things affect to the business? Komanda me wage dewal business walata balapana, right? Now you think, right? You're selling toys, right? Or sell karane toys. Now you want to enter for a foreign market. Then when a rataka vikunanone me toys, what enter in to foreign market, right? So when you are entering for a foreign market, you need to see this demographic environment also, right? So if some country has a lot of old people rather than the children, right? If you are selling toys, right? Now you want to enter to Japan market. The Japan, I think they have mostly more old people are there in Japan. Right? So what do you think? Are you going to enter for that market? Well, then Japan toys, right? If you have enough money, you can go for few countries, then no problem. But if your money is limited with you, right? When you're selecting that country, you need to select the country which has high population with high children, right? High number of children. ළමයි in a country එකක් තමයි හොයාගන්න ඕන. Right? ඒක බලපාන. Okay, so these kind of things you need to think about when you're doing businesses, right? Affect. Right. Next one, natural environment. Natural environment. Today there is a global awareness on damages caused to natural resources. Business activities in many countries have polluted air, water, and land. Rules and regulations have been imposed to conduct business activities in order to protect the natural environment. There are a lot of rules and regulations. These days, those things are very popular, children. The most countries, they have imposed new rules and regulations to protect this natural environment, right? When you are going to locate your business in somewhere, there might be some government rule, right? Government rule like you cannot open a company here because it damage to the natural environment in that area, right? May patte water business manufacture business එකක් කරන්න බෑ. ඒ වගේ rules regulations තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? And sometimes children, you have to think about that side also. And also when there are some natural changes, right? That means changes in weather, climate, those things affect to the business. Then flood එකක්, right? ගංවතුරක් එනවා. Right? Then those things affect to the business, right? You have to close the business. Sometimes you have to close the business for a few days, few months. Sometimes it damage to the raw materials, your stock. It's effect to the business. That is a threat, right? Changes in weather and climate, those kind of things might be a threat to the business. Natural disasters, right? Global environment. There are great opportunities to exchange goods and services from time of globalization. The culture of individuals has changed as well. As a result, different kind of goods and services have entered the world market. Tough competition can also be seen. Now, if you are doing business, children, you need to think about this global environment also, right? For example, countries sign some agreement. We call those things trade agreements. So we have a trade agreement with India, and also with Pakistan also we have trade agreement. Sri Lanka, Indo-Sri Lanka agreement. Indo-Sri Lanka agreement. India agreement. We have agreement with Pakistan. We are working on agreement with China, but still we don't have any agreement with China. So what is happening here? Then we give a lot of, then those countries can enter into our market very easily. We also can enter into their market easily, right? There are some import reduction of import tariff and all, right? Or taxes taxes easily enter market, right? So if you are exporting your goods, right, or export it is an opportunity for you when they are signing these kind of agreements. But if you are when you are exporting goods, it's okay, right? When you are importing goods also, right, then you have a lot of opportunities to import a lot of things, right? It might be an opportunity, but sometimes, children, it might be a threat also, right? You're producing, for example, you think you're the onions, right? Farmers letter that there is a problem with that, right? They cannot take the proper price for that, right? Because people are importing those onions from other countries for very low prices, right? අඩු මිලට ඊගොල්ලෝ import කරනවා. එතකොට අපේ ලංකාවේ ඉන්න අයට හොඳ මිලක් එකට ගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. ඒකට ඊගොල්ලෝ වගේ කට්ටියට it is a threat, right? එතකොට you have to this global environment, changing of these kind of things also affect to the businesses, right? මේක එක විදිහකට නෙමෙයි ළමයි, මුගාක් විදිහවලට මේක වෙනස් වෙනවා. Right? Make an effect වෙනවා. Social and cultural environment, right? Beliefs, their wishes, religious beliefs, individual beliefs, these cultural things also affect to the business. I think I told you this example before. I think that is McDonald's. When they enter into an Indian market, right? You know their popular burger is beef burger. But they cannot sell that beef burger in India because they are not eat beef, right? They don't eat beef. What they have to do, they have to introduce like vegetable burgers. Cultural differences are there. Country right? So you have to go with very innovative ideas, right? Businesses are affected with these beliefs and social ethics. මේවා වෙනස් වෙනකොට business වලටත් වෙනස් වෙන්න වෙනවා. right? අයිතිකාරය කැමති උනාට sell කරන්න විදිහක්. right? those are the main things, children, right? Macro environment and immediate environment and internal environment. Okay. So here you have one, the ways how each force may have impact on the school, positive and negatively, right? Then you take school. Home school ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා නේද? අපිට idea එකක් තියෙනවා ඉස්කෝලේ ගැන. Here you have forces. It's for the internal forces. Students, teachers, space of the classroom, prefects. Those are internal forces, right? Maybe external නෙමෙයි කියලා තේරෙනව නේද? මේවා internal forces, right? So for school, what are the positive impact from the students? What are the negative impacts from the students, right? For a school, when they have very disciplined children, right, very skillful children, those are positive impact for the business, right? If they have some negative attitude students, those are negative impacts, right? Teachers, when they have well qualified teachers, very skillful teachers, those are positive impact. Negative impact, lack of sufficient teachers, ඕනතරම් teachers are නැත්තම්, right? Inadequate training, right? Some teachers are not trained well, right? So those are negative impact, right? So I put this table here, right? Just to refer this one. පොඩි idea එකක් ගන්න තමයි මම ඒක include කරේ, right? Okay. This space of the classroom, when you have pleasant environment, adequate space, right? When you have good facilities like fans, right? Proper desk chairs, at least good windows on the window, right? So those are the positive impact, right? So when you have insufficient in space and all, those are negative impacts. When it comes to prefects, prefects having a good personality, being skillful, having strength to face challenges, those are positive impact. Careless, not undertaking responsibilities, those are negative impact, right? Again, positive impact, negative impact තියෙනවා. So I want to tell here, children, when it comes to internal environment, we have strengths and weaknesses. Strength තියෙනවා, weaknesses තියෙනවා. And when it comes to external environment, we have threats and opportunities. Opportunities and threats තමයි තියෙන්නේ. So that lesson is finished now, right? Business environment lesson is finished. Do you have any doubts from this lesson? May lesson එකේ මොනවා හරි doubts තියෙනවද? I will share these notes today. මම අද මේ notes ටික share කරන්න. Any doubts from this part? I checked your assignment one, children. So that is, I want to discuss a few things. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Right. So children, some students haven't get the proper idea about the question. Right? එහෙම ලොකු සමහර ප්‍රශ්න හරියටම තේරුම් අරගෙන තිබෙනවා. I can remember one student asked me that day, teacher, I didn't understand that question. Then I explained. Only few students, only few means like 2-3 students did that question correctly. Others, I think that is second question. Others haven't done that one properly. Right? Because if you are not understanding something, just you can ask me, right? And I want to explain this one also. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And I hope you remember, right? Tomorrow is the deadline for the second assignment, right? ඊළඟ assignment එකේ deadline තියෙන්නේ හෙට. එක submit කරන්න හිතට කලින්. Right. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, children, this one introduced by the Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow කෙනෙක්නා තමයි මේක introduce කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Right. What is he's telling people's needs, right? Minissunta ඕන needs ටික we can categorize into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories, right? Psychological safety needs, those are basic needs, right? Then belongingness and love needs, esteem needs, then self-actualization is there, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලාම මිනිස්සු බලන්නේ to fulfill their psychological needs. ඕනම එක basic needs ටික ගන්න තමයි බලන්නේ. Food, water, warmth, some place, right? Education, those are the basic needs. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම බලන්නේ ඒවා. Once they have fulfilled those needs, then they go for the next one, right? මේ ටික තියනකොට තමයි අනිත් එකට යන්නේ, right? Once they fulfill this first one, then they go to the next one, right? Security and safety, right? When they have both of these things, then they are going for the third part, right? Third need, to fulfill third type. මේ දෙකම fulfill වෙලා නම් තමයි ඊළඟ එකට යන්නේ, right? ඒකේ බලන්නේ friends ලා to have some relationship ඒ දේවල් ගන්න, right? So once they fulfill with this 3, then they go for the esteem needs, right? ඊළඟට ගන්න යන්නේ esteem needs වලට. ඒක fulfill කරගත්තාම the final one is self actualization. අවසානම එක තමයි self actualization කියලා කියන්නේ, right? එතකොට they are telling the mostly a lot of people are not in this self actualization. මේ self actualization එකේ හුඟක් අය නැහැ, right? වැඩිපුරම කට්ටිය ඉන්නේ in this 4. මෙන්න මේකේ තමයි තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට if someone in here, right? Like he is satisfied with his life. එයා හිතනවා එයාගේ ජීවිතය ඔක්කොම සම්පූර්ණ කරගත්තා. There's nothing to fulfill, right? එහෙම මිනිස්සු අඩුයි කියලා තමයි මේකෙන් කියන්නේ, right? And I have a question. They are drawing this one as a pyramid or triangle. පේනවා නේද? මේක triangle එකක් විදිහට තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ අඳින්නේ, right? Normally they are not listing this one. මේක point විදිහට ලියලා නැහැ කොහෙවත්. Right? Or otherwise they are not putting this one into a square නිකන් පොඩි කොටුවක දාලා එහෙමත් නැහැ, right? They are drawing this one as a triangle, or we can tell it's a pyramid. Why is that? That is my question. ඇයි ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම කරලා තියෙන්නේ? I want answer for this question next day. ඊළඟ දවසේ මට answer එකක් දෙන්න. ඇයි මේ Maslow's hierarchy කියන එක triangle එකක් විදිහටම අඳින්නේ? ඇයි ඒගොල්ලෝ එක list කරලා නිකන් list එකක් විදිහට දාන්න පුළුවන්. First one this, second one this, එහෙම දාන්න පුළුවන් නේ. but ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ. මොකක්ද ඒකට reason එක? Right? I want to explain this one also. Unlimited liability, right? Unlimited liability is a disadvantage for a sole trader businesses and partnership. ඒ දෙකම disadvantage එකක් තමයි මේ unlimited liability කියලා කියන්නේ. What is this unlimited liability? Right? You know what is liability? Liability කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට ගෙවන්න තියෙන එක. We have to pay. That amount is unlimited. ඒක limit වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා unlimited liability. For example, you think you have to pay for bank like 20 lakhs, right? You started a business taking a loan from a bank. Then now you have to pay 20 lakhs, right? 20 lakhs bank එකට ගෙවන්න තියෙනවා. That is a liability. But because of this pandemic situation or somewhat, you have to close this business. දැන් ඒක business කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක දැන් වහලා තියෙන්නේ, right? Then you sold your properties, assets, ඒ ඔක්කොම ටික එකේ තියෙන machineries and all you sold. Still you could earn only 15 lakhs. ඒ ඔක්කොම විකුණලා ඔයාට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් උනේ 15 lakhs only, right? So you gave that 15 lakhs to bank, right? But another 5 lakhs is there to pay, right? දැන් ලක්ෂ 15ක් දුන්න බැංකුවට තම ලක්ෂ 5ක් ගෙවන්න තියෙනවා, right? You cannot tell you don't have money, right? ඔයාට කියන්න බෑ මගේ business එක, my business is not it's not running, දැන් මට business එකක් නැහැ, right? You can't tell like that. You have to pay that, right? You have to pay selling your personal properties also, right? එහෙම ඔයාගාව සල්ලි නැත්තම් ඔයාගේ ගෙදර තියෙන vehicle එක හරි ඉන්න ගෙදර හරි විකුණලා, right? You have to sell your own personal assets sometimes, right? එහෙම දීලා හරි ඔයාට ඒ loan එක you have to settle that loan. අන්න ඒකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ unlimited liability. Your liability is not limited for the business assets and all, right? ඒක business එකට විතරක් limit වෙලා නැහැ. ඒක unlimited. ඒක personal assets වලට යනකම් යනවා. Normally, sole trader businesses and partnerships have this unlimited liability disadvantage. But when it comes to private limited and public limited company, private limited, public limited company තියනවා නේද? They have limited liability. හරිද? ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන limited liability එකක් විතරයි. That means owners invest some money for the business as shares. ඒව කරන්නේ shares දීලානේ ඒගොල්ලෝ business එක කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝගේ liability is limited only that amount. දැන් ඔයා හිතන්න you invested 5 lakhs to that business, right? Shares අරගෙන තිනවා ලක්ෂ 5ක. දැන් business එක වැටිලා, right? So you have to pay that. You already gave that 5 lakhs. That's it, right? You no need to pay from your personal assets. ඔයාගේ ගෙදරින් සල්ලි අරන් ඇවිල්ලා දෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ, but you are not getting that 5 lakhs again. හැබැයි ඔයා invest කරපු ලක්ෂ 5 ඔයාට ආපහු හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ, right? So your liability is limited to the amount that you have invested. Invest කරපු ගානට liability එක limit වෙනවා නම් අපි කියනවා ඒක limited liability කියලා. That is the advantage for the public limited companies and private limited companies, right? So when it comes to the assignment part, ඒකේ ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ structure is good, but I saw 1 or 2 students ඒගොල්ලෝ just copy paste, right? ඒක copy paste කළා, no any structure or anything, right? කෙලින්ම this one also just copy paste, right? ඒකත් copy paste කරලා විතරයි තිබුණේ. So normally I deduct marks for those kind of things. Structures වලටත් marks දෙනවා. Right, but I am satisfied with your answers. The most of the students have done. They have did very. You have done very good job, right? So I'm satisfied with that part. So submit your assignment before tomorrow, right? Okay, children. Then shall we wind up the session then? Right. Then God bless you, children.